So, good afternoon everyone. Today we're going to tackle chapter 13 entitled Women and Education. So, the discussant for this chapter is yours truly, Miss Sandra Kiod, Miss Elma May V. Fuentes, Mr. Sondro Matias, and Mr. Mark Harane. So, let's start with the gender and education. Education is a basic human right, one that is essential for the progress of society. Education has been a priority agenda for most government and development agencies as reflected in the Philippine laws and policies. Gender can influence an individual's experience with education. It can affect a person's access to quality education. So, in the context of Philippines, the importance of education is widely recognized. Filipino parents view education as a means to break the cycle of poverty and therefore prioritize sending their children, regardless of gender, to school for a better future. So, in the Philippines, it is culture here in the Philippines nga ang mga view sa mga ginikanan is ilang paeskwelahan ilang anak para maoy mo muhawas nila sa poverty. So mo na ang view diri sa Pilipinas sa education. So education has been a central agenda for both the government and the development agencies in the Philippines, evident in the country laws and policies. So the right to education for all genders has been a hard-won achievement globally, with significant progress made in achieving gender parity in primary education in many parts of the world, including the Philippines. Despite this progress, there are still work to be done to ensure true gender equality in education. So, gender plays a significant role in shaping an individual's educational experience and can impact access to quality education. In many countries, women continue to face challenges in securing their right to education, including the opportunity to pursue non-traditional courses that may not align with traditional gender roles. So, dili jud tanang nga country is na-approve na ang kanang education for women. So, kita sa Philippines, swerte ta kay because na-approve na ang education diri sa Philippines. But then, although kuan man ta na appeal man ta sa third countries or like kanang mga countries nga kanang developing pa, dili pa jud kaayo ta makaingon nga taas sa kay tag quality of education dire. But then ang education dire sa Philippines is kanang priority siya sa government, like kuan ang mag-government ang mag-implement og mga free education like kanang mga high school, elementary and stuff like that. So the quality benefits of education for girls include improved economic opportunities, delayed marriage, reduced fertility rates, better sexual and reproductive health, and increased empowerment. So, education for women is very important gid siya kay di ba mostly mabantayan nato ang mga women nga wala gyud eskwela is mostly maoy mga sayo ug maminyo. And pero through education kaning makuan ni siya, kaning makatabang na siya kay nana may mga gikabisihan ang mga women. So okay, so ang panglantaw man gud sa mga women is ang women is kanang para lagi siya sa panimalay, mag-atiman sa mga bata. But then, through education, magnalimit baganay siya and na-prevent ang mga kuan kanang women nga sayo maminyo because of education. So, next is the importance of education and international perspective. So, a paper on privatization education governance showed how schools produce culture while shaping social norms. It highlighted how structures and process of education governance shape policy and practice, opportunity, and outcomes within these structures. School systems determine who is important and worth listening to, which person should have influence, and who should be read in history. In schools, students are taught what jobs will generate more money, who has power in the current shape of society, and how to be that person. Hence, education is also a powerful tool for socialization. A school reaches what is important, such as an individual's responsibilities in a society and one's potential. So, So, in Article 26 of Universal Declaration of Human Rights underscores the fundamental right to education for all individuals, highlighting its crucial role in realizing human potential. It emphasizes the primary education is an essential right that should be universally accessible and free of charge. Furthermore, technical and professional and higher education should be available based on merit and skills, ensuring equitable opportunities for all individuals to pursue further education. So, gideclare di ay sa human rights nga ang elementary ug high school should be free, and in essence, the right to education is a cornerstone of human rights, essential for fostering more inclusive, equitable, and prosperous society. By upholding and promoting this right, nations can empower individuals, promote social progress, and work towards a future where education is accessible to all regardless of background and circumstances. So, education policies plays a crucial role in reflecting and promoting the values of a just and equitable society. Gender issues in education, particularly in the Philippines, are a priority factors, focusing on creating non-sexist curriculum, promoting non-sexist language, and ensuring freedom in career options. So, by addressing these gender-related challenges and promoting inclusive and equitable education policies, societies can work towards creating a fair and just social environment where all individuals have equal opportunities to learn, grow, and contribute to the progress of the community. So, usually magod ang education diri sa Philippines is kanang ilat ang ginatudluan nga if dagan kang kwarta mas powerful ka, so dapat may skill jud ta. So, education is very important because through education is ma-educate ang mga individuals and dili na ma-ignorante sa mga butang nga panghitabo diri sa kalibutan. So, Educational and Beijing Platform for Action 1995. Education is a human right and an essential tool for achieving the goals of equality, development, and peace. What a person knows can help him or her improve his or her situation and enhance his or her general state, family situation, and overall life. The idea of education as a key strategic tool for gender equality was solidified in 1995 Beijing Platform for Action, or BPFA. The BPFA prioritizes women and men's equal access to quality education, as education is viewed as a key to helping people achieving their full potential. So next is Philippine laws on gender responsive and gender fair education. The Filipinos' high regard for education comes from the view that education is a pillar of national development and a primary aim for social economic mobility. The importance of education is ingrained in the Philippines Constitution. The state shall protect the elimination of the discrimination against women, specifically in states that elimination of discriminatory laws and practices as well as discriminatory acts against women in institution of education. So these policy documents outline target areas for gender mainstreaming and education, reflecting varying degrees of commitment and initiatives to promote gender equality in education. The Magna Carta Act of Women and the National Economic Development Authority, or NEDA, Handbook or Harmonized Gender and Development Guidelines for Project Development, Implementation, Monitoring, and Evaluation provide additional recommendations to establish a gender-responsive education systems in the Philippines. So, by integrating gender considerations into education policies and practices, the Philippines aims to create a more inclusive, equitable, and gender-fair education systems that empowers all individuals regardless of gender to access the quality education and contribute meaningfully to society development and progress. So the Philippines implemented a law that kanang maka-benefit ang both men and women, dili lang ang mga men kundi ang women pod kanang pareha sila og anang fair ilang makuha nga quality of education. So that's
Gender and development marks in education. Ay. used to measure and evaluate gender equality and development progress within the education sector. These marks help identify graphs access, access the effectiveness policy and guide intervention to promote equal opportunity for all gender. Here is the same some case. Number one is enrollment ratio. Gross enrollment ratio or GER or GER, the total enrollment in specific level of education regardless of age expressed as a percentage of eligible official school age populations for that level. Ikadua, net enrollment ratio. The total enrollment of the official age group for a given level of education expressed as a percentage of corresponding populations. Second, third one is completion rates. Preliminary completion rates, the percentage of the students completing the last year of the primary school. Second one is that a measure of relative access to education of males and females or uh, uh, GPI of one indicate property between gender, attendance and dropout rates. Percentage of the students regularly attending school and those who drop out before completing a certain education level transition rates. The higher level education complete by individuals within a population is degrade this segregated by a gender unequal of education. In the indicators related to the equal of education such as populate teacher ratio, the availability of the learning materials and the training and qualifications of teacher. Virus issues in education refer to the virus challenge and disparities that individuals face bias on their gender. These issues can affect access to educational outcomes and experience between the educational system. A key gender issues in education includes access to education. In the same part of the world, girls and women have less education due to the cultural, economic, and social barriers that includes the is for the girls is early marriage, gender-based violence, and poverty, which is can prevent girls from attending school. So before, ang atong culture before is ang mga babae is para lagi sa balay para magpaggama sa ilang household na paggalamunon. Well, mo kung one of the reason nga nung dito ka access because siguro po before was usa sa akong namatan nga ang kalabanan jud nga usa sa pinaka gina-face before sa mga bata is layo ang eskwelahan. Ikaduha ang kapobrehon. Pero ana sila ang kapobrehon daw is dili hadlang sa pag-eskwela. Yes, tinuod man. Pero sa pag-eskwela man gud need man gud nato og una-una financially. Ikaduha layo ang eskwelahan, pag-travel. Then before sa mga experience po, lisod jud kay una-una ang dalan, lapo. Siyempre, pag abot sa eskwelahan, na, di na makadimang kanina. Muna siya. Second one is gender stereotypes. Gender stereotypes about gender roles can be influenced the subject. Students are encouraged to study and their preserve competencies. For example, boys may be posed towards the science and mathematics, while girls is made to stress towards the humanities and caregiving professions. So, yes, ang mga lalaki jud hilig jud kay na sila mathematics. You know why? As I observe, most of the boys is maayo kayong mo ano math. For example na lang sa kanang sa kwarta, sa sorry sa mention sa sugalan. Okay, most of the boys is na sugalan ka. Wala na to limited na ang mga boy. So, ang mga lalaki bisan pila pa na ang pintahon nila, ma-compute na nila within that thinking lang, akan una-una lang nila. No need na calculator. Well, ang mga babae, yes, sa caregiving. When we say caregiving, you take care sa ilang mga anak. Correct me if I'm wrong. So, ano siya? Then, not only sa mga anak. Nowadays, ang mga babae, nagtrabaho po. Like sa mga teacher. Sa mga o man. Dagan ko nakita sa mga offices like sa LGU, in different offices. Curriculum and materials education contains and can perpetuate gender biases and stereotypes, textbooks and teachings materials may underrepresent women and girls or depict them in traditions, rules, reinforcement, outdated gender norms. School environment. The overall environment of the schools, including safety and inclusivity, can impact the gender equality, sexual harassment, and gender violence in school can create hostile learning environment, particularly for the girls. So, isa mo ko babayhan ang ganahang eskwela kung makuha na ka, kanang maharas na ka sa imo or sa mga classmate. Di ba? Wala siya. Ganahang mo eskwela, ikaw kulong. No. Nowadays, before, siguro makasayon-sayon na sila. But nowadays, na naman ko tayo gitawag o gender equality o kuan. Kung naman na tayo gitawag sa Magna Carta protect the women or correct me, tawag ito RA 910. Correct. Nalimot na ko sa kuan. Sige, sa Magna Carta o sorry. Non-traditional skills training refers to educational and trainings programs that focus on skills not typically covered in conversational, academic, and curriculum. Those programs often emphasize practical, hands-on experience and may cater the emerging industries or innovate fields. The concept of multiple burdens of women refers to the overlapping responsibilities and challenges that women often face at various uh, of their life. Burdens arise from the combined effect of the gender roles, social expectations, economic pressures, and systematic qualities. Number one is household uh, responsibilities. Yes, women is good in household doing. For example, panglimpyo, panghugas, paglumag, pagputa, tanan-tanan na nas balay panglaba sa babae. Pero di naman sa ingon nga akong ingon na dili pwede sa lalaki. Kabalo man po ang mga lalaki manghugas tanan. Ang di lang kabalo sa babae. Sa lalaki is pagpatutoy sa bata, tikar sa kabalo man sila mo galam sa bata ang mga lalaki. At ang di lang jud mahimo sa lalaki is ang pagtawag ni pagpatutoy. Ikaw may gatas. Isod ko no. Patutyos. Let's proceed. Economic participation, meaning many women are engaging in paid employees, yet not still carrier of the primary responsibilities for household tasks. Balancing work and home life can be particularly challenging, leading to the time priority and stress. Now, bisan ang mga babae na trabaho pag opisina, as sa akong mga usulbahan, ako naman is ikas baol mo trabaho kas balay, maglumag pa, mahugas ka. Well, ang mga papa, nagpuan lang, lingkod, nagkaon. Economic participations, reproductive rules. Dili sa reproductive rules is, for example, the example of this is, this one. For example, is the, bisan na pa sila sa kuan, bisan na pa sila trabaho, force lang gyapon nila nga magtrabaho sa ilang kagaling panimalay kay reproductive rules. So, bisan pag trabaho sila sa opisina, inikuli sa ilang kalaymas, sila gyapon magtrabaho. Ikaduha, third one is educational opportunities, violence, ikaapat is violence and discrimination. Thank you.
Good day everyone, and my name is Sandro Matias, and this is the continuation of report of Mr. Mark. So, my topic is inhibited access to education. So, some families are relocated in a far-flung area where there is no nearly school. So, girls walking long distance, especially in dimly lit street, as a part of their commute, high face risk for street harassment and vow. So, when we see vow, is like the meaning of vow is violence against women. So, sulit di arang ng harassment about a girl, diba? And this one of a specific example is inhibited access to education is to rural communities and developing countries where children, especially girls, are required to walk long distance to reach the nearest school, and also the lack of safe and reliable transportation options. So, murag ano siya, murag dili kay safety, especially sa mga girls, kay layo from ilang nga balay, sa ilang nga balay going to school is layo, and napaka risky, especially sa mga girls na makaanong gid sang harassment. So secondly is sexual and reproductive health and rights. So the limited sexual or reproductive health rights in the Philippines can affect one access to education. So, yeah, the increase in the teenage pregnancy in the Philippines is the major factor for the high dropout rate in the female students. So, isa sa mga damo na dropout I mean, isa sa mga sa mga ga-increase sa pregnancies siguro sa to ng layo ang tapos harassment and the female students. So while the Magna Carta of Women prohibited and discrimination against women from assisting education, pregnant students are still victim of cultural discrimination in their institution. So even though nga, di ba, Magna Carta as known as ng violence against women man also related, and di siya malikawan nga still victim ng sa Japon sang ginatawag nga discrimination in the society. So next is exclusive education and alternative learning system. So DepEd recognized the needs for alternative learning system to help out of school youth and older students who have yet to complete their basic education. So DepEd also pushed to the creation of madrasa school for the education of Muslim students and the indigenous people. This flexible is necessary for students who were not able to complete their primary education due to circumstances such as financial issues, early pregnancy, relocation, and displacement, and natural disaster. So, isa sa mga gina-push sang DepEd is para makahimo sila sang school para also sa Muslim and sa indigenous people, and also gaano man sila sa like atong wala nakatapos, like may mga problem like financial problem ng early pregnant and pag transfer for another schools. So next is gender fair textbooks and program. So according to the 2015 PCWD referred for the 20th anniversary for the Benji Platform for Action, DepEd make numerous efforts to effect gender bias textbooks. So teaching material, method, and accordance with the MCW and Women EDG plan. So one of the DepEd plan is to incorporate gender sensitive and principle into teaching guide for the primary and secondary education. However, DepEd has no introduced a core subject on gender and socialization, gender and development, and the like. So one of the specific example as a gender fair textbooks and program is the like as a textbooks of like gender equality and transportation gender norms. So like stereotype. Next is sexual violence and education. So when we say violence as comes sexual violence is a form of discrimination. So mostly sa mga girls. Yeah. So it is usually women who victims of sexual violence and harassment in school, which contribute to higher and early dropout rate as well. Their lower academic achievement. So mostly mga girls gid ang victims in eh. So violence again. So it comes sa school, it comes sa it seems sa school is mismo women get victims ng sexual violation. So sexual violation inhibit a woman and girl from participating in the educational sector and accessing the continuous their education. And sexual harassment as well as the demand of the sexual act and favor and an institution wherein the person who demand the action is in a moral accidency and influence over the person being solicited. So sexual harassment in education can be committed of the person soliciting and sexual action or take care of supervising, training, or tutoring the person being solicited. So, sexual harassment and violence in school are symptomatic of the lack of gender responsive and education. So, new system is available to calculate the number of sexual harassment cases and education both public and private. So wala ginaano ang sexual harassment even though like in public school ka pa or in and private school. So even though bisag diin ka mo adto or mo it comes sa eskwelahan or sa man or sa society man, especially you are a girl, so may ara kid matabong sexual harassment. So next is a gendered education and a gendered curriculum. So gender plays an important part of in how a person experience the world, what one learn, and how he relate the topic in the classroom. So, yes, education as an institution tells students about who is important to success in life. So, yeah, gets naman, diba? And the current curriculum was shaped by year and highlighting men's experience and a fam while making women experience and invisible. So, nakita lang natin ang mga sang experience sa mga boys or sa mga nila, but wala natin nakita or wala natin na ang experience also sa mga girls. So next is the content of the curriculum as well as the form in which this content and the thoughts prepare both young girls and boys how to succeed and a male work man plays dominant role and are the needs of institution and a woman must fight twice hard to be considered this institution.
So good day everyone. I am Alma May V. Fuentes and my topic is all about the unspoken curriculum, culture, and gender. So it has three under the microaggression and education, bullying and relational aggression, and the campus culture. So the unspoken curriculum, culture, and gender refers to the hidden messages and social norms that exist within schools, particularly how they influence students' understanding gender. So kani siya mga hidden messages nga wala nabalaan sa mga tao nga naka-influensya sa usa ka student para makuan ug unsa iyang understanding about gender. So, microaggression is that you are putting down or insulting someone based on their historically marginalized group. So, it can be intentional or unintentional. So, ang intentional is kanang imo siyang gituyo gali nga you are being rude to someone. While ang unintentional is someone might not realize nga na kuan na day sila na cross the line na day sila, like na insensitive na day sila towards someone. So Daryl Dwing, she and colleagues used the microaggression theory to map the racism people of color experience in the United States. So kani si Daryl Dwing, she is nagkuan siya kaning nag-imply siya og microaggression theory about atong racism nga nahitabo sa United States. So ang racism gani is katugaling naa siya discrimination towards color. Tapos, the microaggression theory frames that subtle biases students may experience in their schools that have a large impact on how they act, see themselves, and even their careers later in life. So, kani siyang, diri sa microaggression theory, diri na to mabalaan ug unsa ang understanding about unsa ang mahitabo sa usa ka estudyante if maka-experience siya aning microaggression. So sa microaggression theory, diri gi-study kusa ang gistudihan diri is ang sample is ang racism. So diri nila nabalaan nga ang kuan daw ang microaggression is makaapekto siya sa usa ka sa estudyante on how he will act, tapos iyang career ug unsa iyang panglantaw sa iyang kaugalingon. So this observation reinforces the need for a simultaneous shift to gender fair education and teacher training. So diri kani siya naigi-propose nga solution ang researcher para daw ma-solve ni or ma-reduce ang microaggression na discrimination. So, fair education and teacher training. So, simply i-train ang mga teacher about gender equality. Tapos, removal of sexist language and stereotypes in textbooks. Like, i-update ang mga textbook, murag i-conduct siya o updated, tapos i-remove ang mga sexist language nga naa didto. Tapos, teaching materials to reduce the effects of microaggressions on young and impressionable children. So, magbutang po siya og mga teaching materials gali nga, like, no need na siya og kanang maka-reduce po siya og mga gender inequality. So, next is bullying and relational aggression. So the way women have been socialized affects what they do and how they relate to one another. So, according to here is it's kaning kuan pud sa women nga ug unsa ang gipakita nila sa lain is mao po daw ang mabalik po nila or sa usa ka tawo towards nila. So aside from fighting, bullying is also a general issue in schools. Bullying, as defined by RA 10627, is a physical, verbal, electronic gesture or act toward a student that aims to place that student in a state of fear or panic which disrupt the students. Technology is also a means to perpetuate bullying through cyberbullying. So, in school, aside from fighting, is naapod bullying. So, bullying is a general issue sa schools. Kaya, ang bullying manggo, dili lang siya through physical, but also verbal. Unlike sa fighting, is physical siya. So, ang bullying is general siya because everyone can do it, unlike sa fighting. So, kaya ang bullying manggo, dili kay siya totally mailhan jud nimo nga ginabuli or kani-ganing kita jud kayo ang bullying. Kaya ang bullying manggod, pwede manggod siya through online. Tapos, ang mabuli manggod nga tao is dili nimo siya makita nga simple na may bullying nga physical. But naa manggod uban nga bullying through verbal, like pwede po siya sa katong technology nga naka-state there. Technology is also means to perpetuate bullying, like cyberbullying. Tapos, ang bullying manggod is it can be saying a general issue because nowadays manggod bullying is crucial. Like dili siya nimo ma-define dayon nga bullying siya, it's because dili nimo ma-read ang usa ka tawo nga naka-experience ana. Tapos there is type of bullying and it is a relational aggression. So our relational aggression defined as an act that harm others through damage or threat of damage to relationship or feelings of acceptance, friendship, or group inclusion. So, ang kaning relational aggression is mura siya bullying muguba galig relationship like romantic relationship, tapos friendship or group inclusion. So, it is the connection between the two gali. Mura siya, pwede siya verbal, pwede po siya physical. So, there are researchers nga studied about the relational aggression. So, ang studied by Valerie Besag, ang iyang studied is all about why girls fight more than boys. So, ang study ni Valerie Besag, she noted nga ang quarrel guno occurs more often between girls who previously had close relationship than girls who had no prior. Tapos, ang na-find out naman is sa study ni Curie, Kelly, and by Mertz is that their study find out that relational aggression is often confrontational. Effects of relational aggression come in the form of one's damaged self-esteem or social status. Sa study ni Curie, Kelly, and by Mertz, iyang study is nag-find out nga ang relational aggression guno is dili guno siya confrontational. Tapos ang effect guno sa relational aggression is na-form siya or makadamage siya sa self-esteem o social status sa usa ka tawo. So, ang study aning duha ka tawo, so this researcher studies is made to add understanding about relational aggression, particularly on how it might occur more frequently in close relationship and how it can be formed in direct bullying and negative consequences. So, campus culture. The compounded effect of relational aggression, microaggression, and the classroom culture creates a campus culture. So, various factors like relational aggression o microaggression nga atong gidiscuss ganiha is maka-create jud siya campus culture. Dayon, culture can be defined as shared characteristics and norms of particular nationalities or cross-national groups. So, ang meaning sa campus culture, it is defined as the culture formed within a school based on the shared values of the institutions. It may also influenced by outside factors such as policy set up by trends in development and budgeting policies. So kaning campus culture, mao ni siyang culture nga na build within the school. It might be negative or positive. So peer culture also contributes to campus culture as it plays an important role in gender socialization from acceptable behavior and interaction between the same sex and opposite sex. So peer culture, it is how students interact with each other. Gender socialization, it plays a role in shaping how students learn and understand appropriate behavior and interactions for their gender, both with the same sex and the opposite sex. So, the school may attempt to be gender fair and gender responsive, however, it must be balance the values of the students and surrounding communities. So, overall point of this campus culture is that by understanding these factors, which are the relational aggression and microaggression, is that it interacts and contribute to campus culture. Yes, this suggests that schools can work towards creating a more positive and inclusive environment for all students. These include addressing issues like relational, microaggressions, and unequal classroom cultures that can create a hostile environment for many. So that ends of our report about the women and education.